Hey, my name is Matthew. I'm currently 25 years old, and all of this happened to me 8 years ago when I was 17 years old around 2015. Even back then and as now, I was very outgoing and very friendly guy, and I'm still there today as well. But there was only one time in the high school that was the most creepiest ever to happen to me. I know that many had a stalker in their lives or something like that. Personally, I never even imagined when I was in high school I would ever have a stalker. You see, I was, like I said, very friendly, outgoing, and I had no problem to make new friends, and I barely even have any enemies at all, or none, to be honest. I was a very socializing guy, even as still am. But I'm a realist aware now of some red flags. And back then, I pretty much wouldn't been, I was clueless of any red flag signs. Like I said, this happened when I was 17 years old, when I was still in high school. And just before the summer, the school was planning for a school dance. And along many others at school, they were quite excited, including myself. But I only had one small issue. Who to ask to dance as my date? I had no idea. All of my friends already had a date to the dance, either someone they know or their girlfriend. At the time, I was single, and well, there was only one girl that I pretty much liked, and she is also a friend of mine. Just a little bit of brief backstory. I've been having a crush on this particular friend ever since I started high school, but I was always too nervous to even to ask her or even telling her. I was hoping to be able to tell her soon, after, either before or even after the school dance, and her name is Alyssa. Just a little bit, even though this might not be relevant, but Alyssa and I, well, let's say we are engaged. Yeah, I managed to pull it off, but I'm a little bit ahead of my story here. Anyways, I was pretty much wanted to ask Alyssa, but I wasn't sure if I actually heard if she was asked someone already. So I asked my friend Leo, which is my best friend, if he had heard if anyone has asked her. And he said no, no one actually had even asked her. So I was like, jackpot, I still have my chance. He was the only one that I knew that I had a crush on her. And he's like, you should probably do it. I mean, do you have any better opportunity to even ask her? And so, when she was standing by her locker that same day, I literally walked up to her and asked if she wanted to go with me to the dance as my date. She actually said yes. I was really much surprised that she even wanted it, but I was surprised that she did say yes. So, for next, since the dance wasn't until like a week later, around the Friday, so at least I had enough time to practice for some dance moves and even to find a decent tuxedo or a suit for the dance. And my parents, they were actually proud that I actually had asked Alyssa, because for most of all, they knew that I had liked Alyssa for quite a while, but they didn't even know to far extent. Like, I really liked her. I mean, they first believed that I just liked her as just a friend, like a second best friend. But shortly after I had asked her, during that same day, at in the cafeteria, I was sitting with just myself. Leo had just left the cafeteria, but after eating his food. Then a girl walked up to me. A girl that I was quite familiar with. Her name was Cassandra, around the same age. She then asked me if I would like to go with her as a date to the school dance. I told her that I already had asked someone to go for a dance with me. I could almost immediately see that she was smiling, but when I said that, it was like a sad face had been replaced. She said, "Oh, well, I hope you're having a good time though." She didn't even ask who I was going with. So she left. I felt a little bit awkward after that moment, but I moved on from that. And after school, me and my dad went look around for any particular world good suit for the dance, and I did find one with a surprise. Um, my dad even showed me some good dance moves for I to do, and of course, even Leo did show me some as well. And well, I was pretty much quite excited and nervous. But when the school dance came, I was nervous. But I drove over to Alyssa's home, picked her up, and I do don't kidding you. She looked amazing. She was wearing this red dress and it looked so amazing on her. I even told her that and made her blush and she said thanks. So we headed off to dance. And at the dance we had a great time actually. I mean we danced a lot, even socialized with other friends, other people, and in fact I had this a great time. But when I was just alone, um Alyssa was dancing with Leo for just for fun dance course. I did notice there was one girl standing by the wall near the drinks. A girl in a green dress. At first, I didn't recognize her, but when I saw it was Cassandra, and I later found out that she came alone. She'd never even had a date, so I wanted to cheer her up because first I noticed that she looked sad. When she saw me walking up to her, she almost felt shocked. I asked her how her night had been so far, and she said it's been okay. And she asked me where my date is. Oh, I told her she is dancing with someone else for the moment as a friendly dance, though. So I asked her if she was willing to give a dance. She actually smiled and said yes. So we walked up to the dance floor and we danced maybe I'd say 2 or 3 dances, and this was actually was somehow felt. I mean, I'm happy to make her feel happy for the dance though, and I mean I didn't mind the dance with Alyssa or Cassandra. I mean I did dance with a few other female friends at the time, and I wasn't really much any against that. But after the dance was over, I drove Alyssa home, and it was then I told her about my true feelings. I was expecting that she was going to say that she didn't like me the same way, maybe just a friend. But in fact, she did like me as more than that. And I was like, then if I could, I tried my best to act cool, not to be quite excited. So I didn't want to blow my chances, if I say that. So I asked her, I did ask her if she wanted to be my girlfriend. And I was quite excited that she said yes. And we actually decided to go out on a date that same weekend. We actually went to the movies. We had a great time. And the first person to notice was Leo. And he was like, "Man, Matthew, you really are really hitting off this time. You were really had it just you really did it." I was like, "Yep, I did ask her, and now we're dating." By the next week, well, let's say everyone at school was I don't know by now aware me and Alyssa was officially dating. Everyone was just happy about it, except for one, Cassandra. Because when I saw her, I mean, I was standing in the hallway talking to Leo, and someone actually just mentioned that me and Alyssa went together. I could see that Cassandra looked so disappointed because she first believed that I was single at the time, which, well, I was single until I did ask Alyssa. But things started acting a little bit strange afterwards. I started getting notes in my locker. They were love notes, actually. And they were not signed by anyone particular at all. Only signed your secret admirer. I first believed it was this from Alyssa. But why would she give me love notes like that, signed secret admirer? But I love the touchstone that she put it secret admirer. I should have asked her about it, but for some reason I didn't. But anyways, this continued for at least a couple of weeks. This was just before summer break started, and I was quite happy that I was getting notes. I did save all of them, but during the summer break, well, let's say I was actually a lot of time with my family. We were actually out of town for about almost 3 weeks. I was just out to visit some relatives near on the west coast in near San Francisco area actually. But now when I came back to school after summer break, I was actually quite happy to be back and spend time with my friends, especially Alyssa. But still, I had all totally forgot about those love notes. But shortly after school started again, the notes started appearing again as well. And for some reason, I still didn't even ask Alyssa why she was just continue to give me those love notes. I mean, we're not dating officially, and so why would she even give me love notes? Well, I wouldn't mind love notes, but signed as secret admirer, she could just be signed Alyssa. But I never even told anyone, not even Leo, about this. And if Alyssa find out that I was getting some love notes from someone else, and if it wasn't from her, she probably would start believing I was being cheating on her. But the most of the notes were just saying how much the person loved me, how much I meant to this person every day. There were no signs of any hostilities, it's just lovely notes like love messages. There was only like friendly, not any flirtatious matter. There was just only saying how much I meant to this person and how much they can see me as a strong individual, very outgoing person. And both things do actually match with me that. But one of the notes eventually said, I'm willing to want to meet you. So meet me at the park 3 p.m. on Friday. I will be finally telling you who I am. I was like, if this is gonna be Alyssa, I will be a little bit surprised, but also a little bit, I would say upset. But I didn't tell anyone except for Leo where I was going, and it was like, oh yeah, I can go with you. So Leo stayed behind in a distance so that I wouldn't ruin the chance or like that. But when I got to the park, just before maybe around 2:55 p.m., just 5 minutes before 3 p.m., I was actually at the at the fountain and waiting for this my secret admirer. Suddenly, I heard someone walking. I was like, turn around, and who do I see? But it wasn't even Alyssa. Cassandra. At first, maybe that she was walking in the park. After all, I know that she lived quite close to the park, so I thought maybe that she just went often to the park to relax and something. But she stopped by the fountain and asked, so I see you got the notes? And then it hit me. Cassandra had been my secret admirer the whole time, even before summer vacation. I asked her if she was my secret admirer. She started blushing and said yes. And I told her that I already had someone already, and I should probably know that. She said that she knew, but she said that Alyssa is not the one for me. She said that I was supposed to be with her instead. And I was like, what do you mean by that? She started telling me lies, stories about Alyssa being just using me. That she was actually dating someone else, or she was dating multiple guys from school, and I was just only one of those pawns. That she just didn't even like me at all. That she just only used me for her own gain. And she said that after she found out that she wanted to tell me the truth about what was happening, and she even claimed that she even has some messages from Alyssa saying that she confessed to her that she was only using me. When I asked for those evidence, Cassandra by mysteriously saying that she didn't even have those messages anymore. She claimed that she deleted them all because she didn't want to show me them and then break my heart. She wanted to act like my comfort person. She confessed of how long she has been in love with me, and I was very torn. I told her I should probably go. She tried to convince me to stay so we could talk, but having this was really surprising to me. I just told her I need some time by myself, and after all this, I don't know what to believe anymore. And she understood, and she told me that I could call her at any time or even come over to her place. And when I left the park, Leo came after me and he asked what happened. Well, I gave her some of the basic what happened, and he was like, "Whoa, are you serious? Cassandra?" And when I told him about this, suppose that Alyssa been only using me, he was like he just then stopped middle of on the sidewalk like, "Whoa, dude, do you believe that?" I mean, we both had known Alyssa for quite a long time, at least a few years, and she has never even done this. In fact, you were her first boyfriend. Why would she even want to do this? I actually finally realized he had a point. Alyssa never was actually very much interested in dating, even when we know her back in middle school. And even when she was in high school now with us, she had been approached by multiple guys, but she turned them down, all of them, each single time. When I got home, I called her, asked her about it. She confirmed she hasn't even been done that. And when I asked her about these supposed other guys, she said no. She was actually a bit upset that I even like almost accusing that. But I told her I didn't accuse her. I told her that what happened at the park. Now she was a little bit mad, but also very confused. When I told her what Cassandra told me that she wanted me to be with her rather than be with Alyssa, I was like, whoa. But she told me not to believe any of those words. So, but the next day, I went back to school as normal, and let's say I heard from one of my other mutual friends with Alyssa that she had a conversation with Cassandra, and Cassandra broke down and made up, confessed that she had lied all those stories about her, hoping that I would break up with Alyssa so she could sweep in and start dating me. I was like, when I did confront Cassandra this, she even confessed one detail that I wasn't even aware of. Turned out, she had been following me around in high school from different multiple occasions, but I never saw her. It's because she always hid herself quickly enough. And even had followed to my house, be watching from my outside my window. And since we had some tall trees and some tall bushes around the house, so she could easily be hiding there and without being seen by anyone from the street or our neighbors. So she claimed that she had seen me around the different times when at my own room, if I doing my homework, or if I was asleep, or if I had even Leo over. And when she mentioned some things that happened, it did add up. Some of the details did actually was confirmed did happen. Now I know at least I have an obsessed stalker classmate. I didn't know what to believe. I told her we are now going to the principal right now because this is really out of hand. At first she didn't even want to do it, but she did anyways. We went to the principal and I told him what happened. And Cassandra didn't even lie about this at the time. She confessed all of it. Well, let's see what happened is Cassandra was expelled because this behavior was not accepted by school policy at all. I told Cassandra, but just the day when she left from high school, that I wish her for the best and I know that she will find someone that she could trust and love, but she had to stop this behavior because if she would continue, she would only chase another guy away from her. She would only be alone. She started crying, but she said that she understood what I meant. So that was the last time I saw her for a number of years. And I did actually run into Cassandra but almost just around a year ago. She was actually with a guy around the same age. Turned out she was transferred to a new high school. And she didn't first recognize me. But when I told her who I was, she smiled and remembered me. I asked her how she has been lately. She told me that she went to new high school, she quit all her strange behavior, even though it was hard for her to stop. But she did meet a guy. The same guy what she was with, someone she was actually now engaged with. And I was just told her I was happy for her to be found a guy to be with. She remembered my advice. And I'm actually happy that she did it. And unlike many other crazy upset stalker stories, this is probably one of the most positive ones. For Cassandra, I'm really happy that she found this good guy to be with. And especially when she had put her strange stalker behavior behind her and had just moved on and found this great guy to be with. I know this because, Cassandra, I would not mind for us to meet again and just to be friends. And I'm happy for you.